Okay, are you a photographer or videographer and you want to start doing Google Ads? This is my first video on this subject. I do a lot of Google Ads. I do, um, quite honestly, around $1,000 to $3,000 per month. Sometimes less, sometimes none, but in general, I'm running a campaign. And the first topic I want to talk to you about is, in my opinion, the most important thing with Google Ads, which is your negative keywords. Negative keywords. And that's really important. And also talking to you about the three types of keywords. First, in Google Ads, and I'll show you this page, and I should be able to make this a little bit bigger. Okay, if you're in your ads campaign and you have your campaign selected here, and then over here you'll find negative keywords, and then you're going to have your negative keywords, and you can add them using this plus. And you'll notice most of the keywords you're going to see here have quotation marks. That is what's called a phrase match. Google has a broad match, a phrase match, and an exact match. Phrase match is what you want because if someone searches for $1,000 wedding films, as long as it has $1,000, which is one of my negative keywords right here, as long as it has $1,000, I'm not coming up in that search query. If someone searches for 31 films, great wedding videographer, I'm not coming up. That's what's called a phrase match. This thing that's in quotes can be at the beginning, at the end, or the middle. And in my opinion, if you do not use negative keywords, specifically phrase match negative keywords, you're going to be paying for a lot of ads, and Google's business is ads, so they might not mind if they spend all your money. So if you use a bunch of broad match search keywords over here, and then you don't use any negative keywords, you're going to come up on a lot of searches that you don't want to. And guess what? Even though sometimes someone is searching for, say, a wedding videography course, and you're not a wedding videography course company, they might click on it. And if they click on it, you might pay. In fact, I'm sure you'll pay. It's only an incredibly rare case where you might be bidding for keywords that have like no traction and they cost like a penny. But in general, a click is several dollars. And it could be as much as $10 or $15. So depending upon your market and the keywords you're going for. So having the right negative keywords is absolutely essential. Now, let me show you some types of negative keywords, and I'm actually going to add one more right now that I just thought of and I want to go over. Number one is your competitors. These are probably great people, great companies, but in my opinion, you don't want to compete with them. If someone is searching for 31 films, and honestly, I don't even know this company, I'm assuming they're going to book them. Maybe you're more aggressive than me and you're willing to take the chance. Generally, I'm not. So I have them in here. I'm not going to come up on any queries for that. I'm not going to come up on any queries for Beautiful Union, Ace of Hearts, Sixth in Idaho. Yeah, I don't want to come up in that search query because they're probably going to click on that website, but they might click on mine before then, and maybe as a mistake, and I'm just going to throw away probably somewhere between $5 and $8 for my costs. Second thing, jobs. You should have job or jobs and any other negative keywords you can think of related to jobs, unless you want to employ people. Because if someone types wedding videographer job and you have a broad search keyword for wedding videographer, you're going to come up. And guess what? They might think, oh, I want to see this website, even if they have no interest at all in booking your work because they're not getting married. They want to become a wedding videographer. Maybe you want to hire them, but you probably don't want to pay $5 for them to click on your website. Courses. You want to have, in quotation, courses, anything like that, because you don't want to pay for courses. Gear. You want to make sure that you have words like camera, cameras, microphone in quotation marks, because you don't want to come up for a search that is best camera for wedding photography. If you do, and they click on it, you're paying. Microphones, gimbals, drones, I put all of that in there. Cities and states that you don't want to work. I'm pretty sure, here we go. Alaska and Alberta, great places. I'm not going. So they're in my negative keywords. Affordable. It's great if you are affordable. Maybe if you're you're just starting out and you're at a $1,200 price point. I am not. So that's probably a waste of a click for me. If you want to compete with affordable, for me, affordable doesn't say anything. It doesn't say, has no value in the sense of what does affordable mean. For example, the Knot has affordable as a criteria. I think I'm currently listed as affordable, but that has no meaning. So you should also have the word cheap as a negative keyword. And actually, I will add that right here. Affordable, cheap. Now that's up to you. If you're just starting out, my first wedding film, I was way more than affordable. I did it for $500, and I said, if you like the film, you can give me an additional $250, so $750. So when I was just starting out, I would have definitely had affordable or cheap in there. And if you're trying to build your portfolio, you probably should have that in there. Yeah, if this is your first year and you can afford some Google Ads, that might actually be a great keyword for you under your actual search keywords, not as a negative keyword. Because I don't want to bemoan people that have a budget for the wedding. I myself didn't even have a wedding videographer at my wedding, and we hired some guy my wife knew who was a barista. And I don't think ever photographed another wedding. So, and we paid him, I think, a few $100. So, yeah, I have nothing against affordable. Just if you're paying for Google Ads, unfortunately, know that if you're spending $1,000 a month on Google Ads, unless you're just in that building your portfolio stage, you will lose money if you book weddings that are, say, $1,000, because your customer acquisition cost is just going to be too high. And in fact, if you're going for the affordable or cheap, you probably don't want to do Google Ads. You want to be in Facebook groups like Brought Out a Budget, which are great for that. 7, AI or anything else that's coming up. Put AI in quotation marks, because you don't want someone searching for AI, anything, AI wedding videographer, and then you come up, because it's probably going to be a thing. And unless you know machine learning and you're an expert in that, I don't think you want to be up there. Automated. I got a lot of queries for automated. And then in addition to like AI and automated and gear, goes with software. If you can maybe type in DaVinci, maybe type in Premiere, because a lot of people are going to be searching for these sorts of things. People that want to become wedding videographers are going to be searching for things like Adobe Premiere for wedding videography. And if you don't have negative keywords, you're going to come up and they're going to say, oh, I want to see his work or her work, and click on it and you're going to pay. Next, we have software, which I mentioned. How-to, any how-to queries. How-to as 2 words, how-to with a hyphen. I also put become. Become is a dangerous word, because in general, if they're searching for the word become and wedding videography or wedding photography, it's going to be a negative outcome for you. So nothing with become. Editor, you probably don't want to take on editing jobs as well. So editor, editing, generally that is for people who want to do that. And then types of films you don't want to do. So if you don't do Super 8, put Super 8 as a negative keyword. I don't want to do Super 8. I don't want to do vintage. I don't like vintage. I'm sorry. Any other types of films that you don't want to do. If you don't want to do like documentaries, some people want hour-long documentary films. If you don't want to do that, don't put it in there. I should say put it as a negative keyword so you will not come up. and all you would need to do is put in quotation marks documentary as a negative keyword. One more, since we're here and I have it nearby, is advisors and mentors. Advisors and mentors. Unless you want to be an advisor or mentor, and that's easily known on your website, and you don't want that. Advisor, mentor, mentorship, etc. Yeah, also, I just noticed here's Adobe Premiere. It's like one of the first ones. For some reason, I got ad block and ad blocker. People were searching for that, and most of these came from my experience, having run like months and months of ad campaigns, and I saw my ad was coming up when people were searching for things like that, and I didn't want that. Similar to affordable, if you don't want to do luxury weddings, maybe because you got to travel usually, maybe because it's more gear a lot of times, or you just don't like them. Put luxury is a negative keyword. Yeah, and that's it for negative keywords. That's just one of the key pieces to not wasting money on Google Ads. There is no guarantee with Google Ads. It's really tough, really hard, and you're going to have to lose some money at the beginning to hopefully make some money. There's no guarantee though. When I first started with Google Ads, I lost a lot of money. Something I'll talk in another video is, assuming you put the negative keywords in there, and then you come up with phrase match search keywords, which I'll just click on for you to show you. I don't even think this needs a whole video. I'm only appearing in queries that include the words wedding videographers, wedding videographer, or wedding filmmaker. Because those are phrase match, that means I will appear in a search that might be like wedding videographer near me. So because it's phrase match, near me will also come in. But wedding videographer jobs will not, because I have that as a negative keyword. Cheap wedding videographers will not come up, because unfortunately, I'm no longer in the cheap category. I'm not going to come up. So almost all of my Google ads and the search keywords and negative keywords, that is the things people are searching for, that's what the keywords mean, they're almost all phrase match. I use very little broad match. And broad match is just when you type in with no quotation marks or no brackets. Brackets is exact match, which I don't do hardly any of that either. So if your Google Ads campaigns do not use quotation marks, you're probably on too many search results and losing money. Because Google wants to show your ad. It wants to show as many people your ad as possible, and then get you to spend more money. And that's their business. And they're going to have people call you, hey, I'm from Google. Unfortunately, typically they don't have any good information for you. They'll never tell you this, what I just told you. And this is, I think, essential. And then finally, something I'm going to get into in another video is, after you've done this and you get your Google Ads campaign, don't hit start the campaign. Don't enable the campaign, which is up here in my left-hand corner, unless you know your website is good. You have a few good portfolio pieces. You don't need a lot, and I'll talk more about this in another video. You have your story brand pitch, your Seth Godin, all marketers tell stories pitch. You talk about, you've got a few testimonials on there, people who loved your work, and then you're showing off your best work, and then you have a place where they're gonna contact you. Because if Google will guarantee that you'll get clicks. If you set this up correctly, they'll send you people. They'll get people on your website. But they will bounce, and you will waste your money if your website is not good. Now, that being said, most people do not convert. That's a different video, and I'll tell you a little bit about tracking conversions. But this was negative keywords. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, you should like and subscribe. Maybe eventually I'll get a higher end mic set up if you guys like this. And I'm just using a webcam for now, even though I have $25,000 worth of cameras. I don't have one on my desk up here in my kids' playroom. So hopefully you found this useful. Like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. And visit our website, wildwoodweddingfilms.com. Anything else I want you to do? If you think I'm the best wedding videographer ever, I'm up for orbridemag.com, best wedding videographer. You can vote for me. Just make sure you're following all of the rules for that, orbridemag.com. Thanks.